And welcome to the 35th episode of the Broken Pictures podcast / YouTube show, where we discuss the top 3 things in pop culture that you may have missed this week.
There could potentially be spoilers for your favorite TV shows, movies, and or video games. Live from Northwest Arkansas, oh my gosh, I forgot everything. Live from Northwest Arkansas, I've warned you, but you know, this is
the FOMO Show.
Awesome. You just cut off the intro there.
Did I really?
Yeah.
I'll
just play it again.
I'm just going to play it again. Hey guys, I'm on the mouse this time. This is my first time doing the mouse. So it's exciting. Cool. Oh, I didn't see that. My bad.
Yeah, you did.
Woohoo.
There we go.
Now we're back on screen.
Yeah, this is a learning curve. Huge learning curve.
Yeah.
Like
I've never done anything like this before, so I'm super excited. But who are you?
Hey, what's up, nerds? This is Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
This is Quin.
And we just want to say thanks for joining us today, whether you're new to the show or returning. We're glad to have you along for the ride. And we hope that you'll join us live every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube. We would love it if you would like and subscribe. And hit that little bell icon if you're on YouTube. That way you'll know when we post a new video. And then podcast listeners, please leave us 5 stars in your podcast app. Or you can check us out at our website at www.broken.picturesno.com. And that's it for how you can look at us and find us and do all of that fun jazz.
Yep. So a couple special notes. You see my arm?
You're like crossed over. We're breaking the fourth wall.
Broken the fourth wall. So The Broken Dead will be coming back because The Walking Dead is back, folks. So it's been hey, Granny Quin. So it's been almost, or it has been all summer long because it stopped like February.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been a long time.
It's been a minute.
Season 10 is back, so The Broken Dead is back. And I apologize, we did have some technical difficulties. Usually, we will air live. The Broken Dead will air live 10 o'clock on Sunday nights, Central Standard Time. But this past week, we had technical difficulties, so we're going to do it after this at noon today, our time, Central Standard Time. So,
be sure to stick around for that.
Boom, baby.
Yep.
So, also, if you didn't quite understand Quin, spoiler alert, we will get spoilery, or we're not going to spoil your favorite fandoms intentionally, but we will tread into spoiler territory. So, be thee warned.
Mm-hmm. What'd you guys watch this week?
Actually, we need to ask the fans.
Why is it taking so long? Like I'm clicking it.
Hold on, don't over-click it because it'll just keep on moving.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just like a computer. Like if it's frozen up, don't keep.
Definitely the triple clicker.
Don't keep clicking. You're just giving it more to do, making it slower.
I'm that person. So
don't do that. We'll be playing the outro before you know it because Lydia's over here. It's not working.
I'm not a very patient person. I've never pretended to be a patient person. So.
Yeah.
Shazam.
So, what are you guys into this week? What are you watching, reading, listening to, playing video games, whatever? Let us know if it's good. Should we miss it or don't miss it?
Oh, y'all look at me like I have to go first? Okay.
Yeah,
right,
you usually go first.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. I saw Joker Sunday. Made me cry twice at the very beginning of the movie.
Wow.
Are you a normal crier? Like, do you cry at commercials?
I don't.
Oh,
Are you
wow.
an ugly
This is
crier?
a big deal.
Yeah, like I shed
Wow.
a total of 7 tears. Yeah.
Shay's like marking them down every time.
So, like, it was like, and then like I got really teary eyed, and there's one time I just had to like wipe my eyes. I was like, dang. And then he started shooting people, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm fine now.
Yeah, he's no longer
Not crying anymore. I think that says something about you, that you weren't crying when people were getting shot. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding, guys. Calm down.
What else? Did I finished something? I feel like I finished something. Oh, I finally, after like weeks of it being out, I finally watched Steven Universe the movie. I've been trying to watch this for like
wow.
since it came out.
So we're transitioning from having like a satellite regular TV service to streaming everything, and so we don't have Cartoon Network right now because we haven't started streaming whatever's going to have Cartoon Network on it. Yeah. So Maeve, and she loves Steven Universe, was like, I'm not going to get to watch the movie. I've asked all of my friends and nobody can have me over. So she finds someone online who can stream it for her, and her and Riley are like camped out in front of the computer. It's like 7 a.m. and I come downstairs on a Saturday. I'm like, what's going on?
We found it
right now. They're like, we figured out a way to watch it.
Yeah, and then like she tried to record it or whatever, and then like left in the middle of it, and it didn't record, and she didn't even blink. I was just like, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she got
so dramatic.
So distracted too.
Wow. Okay.
So what'd you think about it?
Yeah, that was really good, and like so I've been watching it since. Okay, I've been watching Steven Universe since it came on, and like it slowly. I didn't know what to think about it, and then it slowly became one of my favorite TV shows.
It's an interesting premise.
Yeah,
there.
it is, and it's so deep, and I'm like, oh, don't make me cry, TV.
What's the
Child
quote?
TV, don't make me cry.
What's the quote? If all pork chops were perfect, we'd never have hot dogs or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wait, am I gonna say it? Nope, he said it right. Okay, yeah, that's it.
That's funny.
But yeah, and then it transitioned because the show's having a sequel show called Steven Universe Future that takes place after the movie where Steven's 16. So I'm like, yay.
Yeah, Maeve was watching it the other day on the computer, of course, and she was just like, I forget he can drive now. He's got a car. I was like, yeah, because that's not a story plot. Like, every parent can afford to get their 16-year-old a car.
I think he just drives his dad's van that his dad kind of lives in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I saw where he meshed with his dad.
Yeah.
And it was so weird.
It was
like this Johnny Bravo Elvis-looking thing.
With 4 arms and the most chest hair ever.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, we're talking about Steven.
We watched. Did y'all watch anything else?
Ugh.
We watched Spider-Man: Far From Home for pizza movie night, which was really good. Felt like it held up. Mm-hmm. No comments there.
Yeah, I was so happy that they finally got to see it. I've been like, holding my tongue for months.
Yeah. Twitter hasn't been holding their tongue for months, though. So
like
I knew
the biggest spoiler that I was trying to hold off, she'd already been spoiled.
Yeah, but spoiled by memes. And so if you don't want to hear anything about Spider-Man Far From Home, this would be just, give me just 1 minute. So the part where they tell the world.
Quin hasn't seen it, so.
Are you talking about the very end of the movie, like the end credit part? Okay, I know that.
Which one? You tell it.
Huh?
Just in case.
Yeah, you might want to skip it. Well, if you're live, you might want to just mute it for
cover your ears.
Yeah.
Just go get some more coffee for a second.
Mysterio unveiled like real.
Yeah,
okay.
So I saw that it was Tekashi 6ix9ine doing it, and so I saw it via meme, and I was like, really? Y'all gonna spoil me via meme? It wasn't even the actual scene, and so I put 2 and 2 together, and I was like, really? Come on, guys.
You have anything else you want to tell? Yeah, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. No!
I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, come on, guys. What the heck? So other than Parks and Rec, I haven't really been watching much.
I got to actually play The Witcher again, just because this Streamlabs OBS is what we're using to stream with. You know, you can see the picture on the screen and everything. Looks really nice, but there's a huge learning curve. I used to do this sort of thing for church a while back, and so
a decade ago.
Over a decade ago, and probably closer almost to 2.
I just was saying by a while ago. I was just giving them context.
Yeah. So I was kind of familiar with how it works, but man, I had to build all these screens and everything, and then like it crashed. And then we had the technical difficulties on Sunday, and I didn't even know. Like, I found out last night at probably like 2 a.m. what the problem was. But thankfully, the Streamlabs support team, like they've got like a Discord server, so I was on there and I was trying to get in contact with somebody, but there was like one dude trying to handle everybody's stuff, and it was like the community forum or whatever. That wasn't working out. So finally I was like trying to find, I finally got an email sent out, and you have to like go through all these things. I tried everything, and the first email they sent me was like, try this, it sounds like this is what your problem is, just do it, and boom, worked
Right there.
Oh my gosh, I was like, yeah, almost tears of joy. Yeah.
But then for some reason he didn't come to bed.
Because I had to build everything, get it all ready.
I'm just messing. Other than The Witcher, did you do anything else? I mean, did we watch an episode of Fear this week? Obviously, we watched The Walking Dead on Saturday night.
That's the thing. We're trying to. You'll hear more about this in the Broken Dead. Yeah, all of our TV shows are broken pictures things, so they're broken something or whatever.
Except this one.
There's a theme. Yeah. Well, this one isn't specific. It's like its own thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're watching Fear to try to catch up because they've made it relevant in the overarching story now. So you kind of have to, and it's
Have they though?
yeah. Well,
I think at some point it's gonna give me one type of closure for Morgan or Dwight or something. So I feel like obligated to watch it, compelled to watch it maybe.
yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like, this is gonna take up a very long moments of my life, but I'm here for it.
Yeah. I'm not
Begrudgingly
happy
here for
about
it.
it. Yeah, because it's so bad. It's so bad.
What?
It's so bad.
It's that bad?
Oh my gosh. It's
Okay.
not, I can't even describe the level of poor quality that
It's
it is.
less than a shadow of The Walking Dead.
Oh.
It's like, man, that was.
I
a,
would.
that was a
Here's
cool
a good
story.
comparison because I've read the Sookie Stackhouse series, all 14 books, at least 8 times in my life, and I will not watch True Blood because it goes against everything that I believe.
And I haven't read the books. I've only seen the show.
And I would rather watch True Blood than have to suffer or continue to let someone else suffer through fear. That's how much it sucks.
Because every time I mention True Blood, she's like, "They did what?"
I can't believe that they would
Yeah.
take. Yeah, that's me
Yeah.
every time.
Every
Rioting.
single time.
But anything other than that, I mean, we haven't really watched much.
Yep. So yeah, I guess we can move on now.
All right. The number one movie of the week is the movie that I saw, The Joker, because Joaquin Phoenix needs to take all of my money and take all the awards. Like that, like its critic score on Rotten Tomatoes currently is at 68%, and the audience score is at 90%. Everybody that I went and saw, well, no, everybody that was in the theater with me, they all kind of had the same reactions, except the two dudes that were over on my right that kept talking the entire time that I wanted to throw my shoe at.
Oh man.
They all like enjoyed the movie. So, y'all might
did you already
see
hit
it
that
today.
button?
Yeah, I already hit it, and I'm
okay.
trying not to hit it again
Oh,
because I
okay.
got in trouble last time. I'm gonna one more time just in case I didn't click it all the way. I saw it change color for a second.
Because that mouse sometimes, if you don't.
That's
get
why
it
I
on
was clicking earlier. You're like,
Well, you were like.
there
there
we
we
go.
go.
See,
See?
the transition is just kind of slow today, I guess. I don't know if we're gonna go see it.
I want to see it really bad because today
Yeah.
it's like $5 Ticket Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, how could you not go see it? You know.
How could you not go see it? But we've got 3 children, a parent-teacher conference today. He hasn't slept but like 45 minutes. He's also supposed to go to D&D tonight. I have to work tomorrow. What are you looking for? I've got 100
I can
reasons.
do it all.
But
That's
The
what he
parent-teacher conference, okay, 2 kids, 1 school, right?
We have 3 children. 2 of them go to the same school is what he's
Yeah.
trying to say.
The parent-teacher conference is a come-and-go thing from 4:30 to 7. There's plenty of time. And the movie's the earliest showing is like at 3.
But what's bothersome to me is I am a I'm gonna get it all done kind of person. So if you challenge me and say that we have to get all of this done today, by golly, I'm going to do it. And so now I'm mad because like now I have to see the Joker today. It's forced upon me. If I don't get but like 4 hours of sleep, shut up. Oh my gosh. Other than the 2 dudes that you wanted to kick with your shoe, what'd you say? 30
Throw my shoe at them.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst.
Yeah, like they kept us like they weren't like blatantly like out talking, but there were certain parts where like I needed them to be quiet, and they would just like lean over like, what's no, I thought it was coming. What's up? Well, Jerry,
Newman.
so
Oh my god.
yeah, but the movie was like I said earlier, it made me cry twice, and like the thing that made me cry was his laugh. Like the first time that he actually laughed, I can't tell you, but it made me cry. Like something in me just like a little bit broke, and I was like, oh,
I cry at
dang.
everything. I might as well just buy a whole new box of tissues for this movie. Like anything like that, I cry. I cry anyway. I'm a crier. I will be.
Yeah.
I guess I
It'd be a
won't
Sprint
wear
commercial.
mascara.
She's like, they love each other so much.
Yeah, I mean he's not wrong. I get it from my mama. So.
I like it though. It's sensitive. I like that.
I'm so sweet.
Never lose that. Cause like I have trouble crying. Like even when I want to cry, I'm just like it's a damn. And I'm like, damn it.
I was like, oh, he meant like that, and then you said it, and I was like, oh, okay, I hear you.
all right, well,
Fifth one?
So what was I gonna say?
Probably nothing worth importance.
Wow.
Boom roasted.
I guess I'm done.
all right. Well, then I guess it's on to the top.
It's making lots of money,
What?
obviously.
Mid-sentence, and you're just like, it was making money.
Sorry.
Oh yeah,
It
it
was
is making
making
money.
money.
It made $91 million for its opening weekend.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the biggest October box office.
Finish the
It
sentence.
beat Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, the Venom that premiered last October? Heard. I'm hearing you. Like, it was like a record, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hear you.
And and the come award season, I just expect to see Joker in every category. Do they do best comedy anymore? No, they don't. Do they? No.
The comedy and musical are in the same category.
It's gonna win that. It's gonna win best.
Is it a comedy? I think it's a drama.
Oh no, I'm not ready.
It's a comedy too. Comedy and drama are the same thing. All right, now on to the top 3 things for the week, or the top 3 things this week. Yep. So I'm up first. Number 1, New York ComicCon was this past week. Yes. Weekend. And a lot of things, a lot of things, but not a lot of things came out. It was just adding some more, basically a lot of updates to a lot of things that we already knew existed. They got a exclusive trailer for Picard, a trailer for Star Trek Discovery, which if y'all don't know what Picard is also Star Trek.
Next Generation.
Next Generation. I'm super sorry if you don't know that. But also
What are you
Patrick
doing with your life if you don't know that?
Patrick Stewart is coming back and reprising his role as Captain Picard.
Road. Very road.
Or Professor X Mach 2.
I mean, like this one, yeah. There was as video game news goes in for New York Comic Con, they revealed Camilla Khan, who is Miss Marvel in Marvel's Avengers, the video game that's coming out next year. We also had
She's the main character of that too.
yeah,
Which is crazy because they've been talking about that for a long time.
yeah. I mean, she's from what the story trailer they revealed her in, she's gonna be going through and she kind of figures out trying to figure out what really happened that day and trying to bring the
Avengers
Avengers.
Day.
Yep, and trying to bring the Avengers back together.
Oh,
And Tony's a super douche.
oh wow. So this is like
Yeah, it's
cool, like back in the day.
back in the day, Iron Man. Got the long hair, got a beard, and he's throwing middle fingers.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Like, and whiskey on the rocks.
Whiskey on the rocks. Yes.
Yeah. That's one arc that I wish they had dove a little deeper into. They kind of skirted it a little bit, but it's Disney-ish.
So they couldn't just
Yeah.
like hit it hard like they wanted it to.
Yeah, I mean, I think Marvel's got a little bit more freedom now than it used to.
Yeah.
Because when it first came into Disney, like they were. Bob Iger's book, he was talking about how people were telling him that Marvel was going to ruin Disney. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was like, nah.
One of the other major things that happened, a lot of fans got to watch the very first episode for The Watchmen, which is going to be premiering on HBO in November, I think. Yes.
Oh, is it November? I thought.
Is it November?
thought it
Because
was
this is
October.
October. Is it appearing this month?
Ooh, I don't know, but I got to get on it.
Yep.
Because I want to do an after show on that, just because
goodness.
I love the freaking comic, and I love even the Snyder movie, which was pretty much shot for shot, obviously minus the
It was long.
the thing at the end. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying not to be spoilery.
the big thing, the thing that happened.
But the show is actually
It's a sequel.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we can get more
Okay.
into this later
Yeah.
because this also goes into part 3.
Yep.
Lydia's is like, on my time?
Excuse me?
But I guess the most surprising thing that came out of Comic-Con, the one that created the most buzz, I'll say, there's some trailers for other Netflix shows, but the one that created the most buzz is a movie that's going to be about Ryan Reynolds. Not about Ryan Reynolds. A movie starring Ryan Reynolds called Free Guy. That movie is basically a movie where Ryan Reynolds is living in a video game, and he is a...
Sorry.
It's all right. And he's an NPC, and he figures out that he's in a video game. He puts on these glasses, and then he ends up becoming a player in the game itself. And then he's just trying to traverse through life while he realizes
Sorry,
I'm in a
Lydia's
video
face
game,
as
but
she's trying to transition.
I'm like having to go like.
while he's living in a video game, trying to traverse life and try to figure out things and realize there's more to life than just his game.
Aw.
But Taika Waititi is directing and Ryan Reynolds is starring, so you know it's Taika Waititi.
My bad. I
It's
used to say
okay.
Tiki Watiti.
Oh, earlier when you said, I was like, for sure. You didn't correct him because he was like, I might say it wrong. Said it, and I was like, oh no, that's right. Because I say it like that every time, just like I say
Taika
little
Waititi.
pinky.
I love some Taika Watiti.
Is directing, Ryan Reynolds starring, so it's, you know, that combination can't go wrong, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's like a match made in heaven.
Yes.
They're gonna get so.
They say it's gonna have some Deadpool feel to it of him breaking the fourth wall, but not.
I don't
that
think
heavy.
he could ever get away from that now.
No,
That's like
he's
his
not.
brand.
That's who he is.
And
Yeah.
I mean, if you're fine with that, then that's fine. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't like that.
He even did a little bit in the He even did a little bit in Detective Pikachu.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was trying to think. I was like, man, there's another movie he was just in. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the one.
Which was a surprise. Like, I didn't know anything about Pokemon. And I went and saw that, and I was like, where's Ash? I didn't
He
know.
said whenever, because at one point, what is there
I actually
another?
enjoyed it. I think
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more than they did.
yeah, I enjoyed that movie.
They
so
being
much.
our children.
Just I
They
didn't want to see
who.
it. But
Because Pikachu are a type of Pokemon.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is not just one. He was like, why are these other things that look just like him? I was like, no. He is a type of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, What?
Yeah,
What?
I thought Pikachu was like.
The one
That's
he
it?
thought he was
It's
the
only
only one.
Pikachu?
Yeah, I thought it was a character. I didn't realize it's like horse.
Yeah.
He's a
it's like-
species.
It's like horse,
Sorry,
but
sorry,
mouse.
Ghost. I just kicked Ghost in the face.
Oh.
The dog. I'm sorry. He likes to lay at my feet
That's
all the time.
we could get into Pokemon, but that would take a day.
Okay.
I'll do that.
So,
Let's go.
but yeah, that's about it as far as Comic-Con goes. There,
Knock,
these guys.
knock, knock. Who's there?
The KBG. We love asking questions. Sorry, that's from The Office.
Okay.
She's not wrong.
I hope that looked real. I wasn't paying attention. I was actually trying to hit you.
Oh, The Mandalorian released their toy line at Marvel Comic-Con.
Toy line?
Yeah, the collectible toy line.
So you get to see like all the new characters and all that kind of stuff? And any spoilers?
Not that I could tell. It's just really a lot of characters that we've seen, and then some Imperial officers and things. And then they had a life-size model of, I don't know, the Mandalorian. Yep. That you could buy for like $1,000.
Wow.
So, you know, somebody bought it.
Wow. He wears a helmet now, so you can't just like squish his head like him. Almost said Lord of the Rings.
Game of Thrones.
Shot for shot remake.
And Game of Thrones, obviously. But anyways.
But yeah. That's all I have for Comic-Con. Y'all have anything else y'all noticed or mentioned or want to mention?
The Walking Dead, there was a lot of big things
their new trailer and
the new show.
The new show. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I mean we can get more into that on the
Broken
Dead.
Dead. Live at noon. Shameless plugs.
I was just about to say, wow, that wasn't a plug.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh.
You were warned. I haven't slept much.
How many times do I have to say,
Like
I'm sorry for him?
This is like the third week in a row, but I'm actually like kind of holding it together today, and like it was like before. I'm
News
just
to
like,
us.
Number 2.
There we go.
All right, so Martin Scorsese said some kind of not really questionable, but
Looks questionable to me.
definitely some explosive comments. But in fairness, he was asked. And a lot of these news stories are where somebody's asked a question and they just answer it, and then people just run with it like he called a formal news. Wow.
Conference?
Wow. Thank you.
Press conference?
Like he called a press conference and was like, attention, everyone. But that's not what happened. So this is what he said. He was asked in an Empire Magazine interview. He said, talking about Marvel and Marvel superhero movies, rather. Well, there are no other Marvel movies, right?
No.
I mean, yeah. So he said, I don't see them. I tried, but it's not cinema. He said, honestly, the closest I can think of them, as well made as they are, with actors doing the best they can under the circumstances, is theme parks. It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological.
I was like, wow, he really went there.
Yeah, psychological experiences to another human being. To that, I say, really, Marty?
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody could talk in length or with authority about cinema, it is Martin Scorsese. He's the man. I mean, I don't know if you saw in the bigger view, but right behind me, Raging Bull poster. It's like, I'm a huge fan.
Not a Raging Bull poster. It is a framed Raging Bull poster.
Actually done by Midnight Marauder. Look him up on Twitter and stuff. Great work. After I posted a picture of it, he hit me up and was like, "Hey man, good on you for hanging it up." But anyway, he's a graphic artist, does posters. He did this one. So if anybody could talk about cinema, or what is cinema and what is not cinema, is Martin Scorsese, because the guy is literally restoring all the old films that are rotting, deteriorating, and all that kind of stuff, and digitizing all these things so that they will be there for future generations. I mean, going back to I'm drawing a blank. I mean, everybody knows the film with the man in the moon, right? Mm-hmm. I want to say it's called The Man in the Moon, with the rocket that hits him and all that kind of stuff. So like that is one of the oldest films, and of course, you know, because it's on celluloid, it's deteriorating, it's falling apart, right? So it's getting digitized, it's getting saved, and they're also deciding what new films should be, you know, put in the vault and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I bow my hat to Martin Scorsese and what he's doing for the industry and everything.
You tip your hat?
I tip my hat. I bow and tip my hat. To you, sir. But in my humblest opinion, I agree.
How could you? First of all, how dare you?
Well, I agree with John Campea, who said, you know, it's like, how can you say you don't like something if you've never seen it? And he said, well, I tried. It was like, well, what does that mean? Did you like watch 15 minutes? Did you watch a couple? Like, you know.
He watched Thor: The Dark World, and he's like, nope, this is garbage.
Yeah. I actually kind of enjoyed that.
That's my favorite one. I don't know why everybody hates it.
Yeah. But but also to defer to somebody on the John Campea show, don't yuck my yum.
What?
So like don't crap on something just because it's not for you. Like, I mean, not everybody's into crime dramas either, you know, Martin Scorsese. I mean,
yeah. I feel like I get his perspective and I like slightly understand it. It's because I think like comic book movies, whether you want to say that it's like an original story or a different take, it's like little bits and pieces. They're adaptations of like certain comic books. It could be like 3 comic books that you kind of meld into one to make your story work or further along in any sort of way. And he probably feels like they're not original ideas of human stories. Because I mean, comics, they can tell some of like the best human stories that you could ever read.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is just like the old thought thing is like, oh, comic books are just silly little floppy books for kids. You know, there's no real depth there. There's nothing there. Now, granted, I've read some downright crap comic books. But I've watched some downright crap movies too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, there's a difference between popcorn fare. You know, you don't expect much. Fast and the Furious. You don't expect much. You don't expect award-winning drama.
Yeah.
And performances. You're there to be entertained. You know what I mean? But I mean, we went into this earlier last month when we talked about the Joker the first time. We were talking about how, you know, people were criticizing it because it's a comic book movie at its roots, right? And everybody was like, oh, you can't really do a drama, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, obviously you can if you do it well. It doesn't matter the character. It doesn't matter the medium. They're people. There's something about it that we can identify with. I mean, like you said, you cried twice in the movie, and you're not a crier.
No.
So this is obviously getting people stirred up. And to me, it seems like, I mean, Martin Scorsese was the one that brought the Joker movie to Warner Brothers, the idea, Todd Phillips, you know what I mean? So it kind of almost seems like shots fired. It's like, okay, Marty, we get it. You got a new movie out, so you got to throw somebody under the bus. Like, that's why it feels like trolling to me. It's like, hashtag don't be a troll. You know, it's got everybody stirred up. Like, James Gunn tweeted almost immediately and was like, man, you know, I'm paraphrasing. Martin Scorsese is like one of my top 5 favorite directors out there. and I've come up watching his movie, grew up watching his movies, but it really hurts my feelings that he won't even give mine a chance. And even Sam Jackson spoke out. He didn't speak out. I mean, like we're like I said, we're saying these statements like they called a press conference and was like, I have a response. No, they were just somewhere, like Sam Jackson, except for like James Gunn that posted on Twitter, in response. But like Sam Jackson was at the grand opening of Tyler Perry's production studio, and somebody asked him about it, and he said, I mean, that's like saying Bugs Bunny ain't funny. Films are films. Everybody doesn't like his stuff either. It's like, he's got a point, And let's see. Joss Whedon came out in defense of not only his films, but James Gunn, just saying, hey, this isn't,
Yeah. I mean, cinema as a whole, as time, you can like go back to the very first films to now, it evolves and it changes. And what makes a movie doesn't necessarily have to really deal with the story. I mean, it does, but it just feels like as time progresses, cinema is also going to change. Yeah, there'll be these like crime drama movies, but as it is right now, like comic book movies are the thing, and it doesn't seem like they're slowing down anymore.
Yeah, and well, okay. I just also want to say Robert Downey Jr. also responded.
He always does.
Yeah, he said he appreciates his point of view, but the MCU is a very large, multi-headed hydra at this point. So I appreciate his opinion because I think it's like anything. We all need the perspective. We need all of the perspective so we can come to center and move on. Yeah, he just said, he wasn't personally offended, but he just thinks it makes no sense. It'd be like saying Howard Stern isn't radio.
Ooh.
I think Martin Scorsese's like, man, I wish I could make $1 billion off a movie.
Yeah.
Just one movie. One weekend. $1 billion.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it like I said, it just seems like shots fired. It seems elitist. That's like saying, oh, we're the in club, and oh, that's pedestrian or whatever. If you look at Shakespeare, which is like what we hold up as some of the greatest stories ever told, it's like the backbone of modern storytelling. Those were pedestrian stories. You know what I mean? Those were the ones that were told in the Globe Theater, making fun of the crown and, political stories and this and that. And there were signs of the times and,
Yep.
Men dressed up as women, mocking but it's like some of the most well-written stuff. And I think that's where it's going to land, not every movie, just like not every action flick is amazing, not every crime drama is amazing either, and it's not about money, Marty. We learned that by watching Wolf of Wall Street. But it just seems like mean streets to me. Anyways, some of my favorite movies are the crime dramas like Godfather 2, Goodfellas. I love Scorsese movies. I love the character development that happens. But the MCU, what I like about it is that it has raised the bar. Mm-hmm. It's not just like, where we used to watch Thor and the Incredible Hulk go at it on TV, and it was like so hokey looking, It's a whole different thing now where they do have the spectacle, but they're also making time for the character development, especially over the course of the cinematic universe. That's what makes it special, And there are movies in the MCU that do transcend. Like for me, I as far as storytelling, Endgame, I didn't think was like masterwork. You know what I mean? It was a good movie. It was fun. It was enjoyable. I liked it, but not all the story makes sense. Which is fine. I'm okay with that as long as you know what you're going in for. Robert Downey Jr. doesn't really need the Oscar. Yeah, he did great, but it wasn't his movie.
No.
You know what I mean?
His character made the sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly. But to me, and some people don't agree with me, but Black Panther it transcended because it was so relatable on a cultural issue. You know, that is right now. You know what I mean? And spoke in so many different ways and so many nuanced ways that it passed right over some people's heads. You know, it's like something that you've got to watch multiple times to see all the.
Yep.
To me, that's Black Panther is like one of the greatest MCU films, and not just because I'm trying to be race friendly or anything like that. Like that, as a Southern white dude, I grew up in the South. My dad is a hippie, and he called me out on everything racial. You know, it's like from down to, oh, what if God sends you a black girl to marry? I was like, well, God knows what I like. And it was like, you know what I mean? And my dad would be like, really? You think so? You know what I mean? Like, I would say some stupid things just being a kid, you know? And in the South, it's like, you know what I mean? I don't have to tell you, obviously. But, just like...
It was still a quality movie despite, like, you're not trying to do anything.
It was an amazing movie. I like Black Panther. It's the undertones, the overtones, and still fit in all the action, all the beats, and it was like watching a James Bond movie mixed with Selma.
Selma.
You know what I mean?
Personally, I liked about the movie is how like everyone stayed true to their character. Like their character arc wasn't a blind side. You know, like it matched, it fit, it felt really collective.
Yeah, and there's so many emotional beats throughout it too, and it just wasn't. I don't know. Even though it's fantasy or whatever, I get it. It's not reality or whatever, but it's still grounded in human emotion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, the movies like that, I think that's unfair that Scorsese says that. Like, you don't know. You haven't invested time into this. Like, you said you tried. Again, like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
It's not fair to tear something down that people have spent lifetimes building.
And, but one of the other really good story arcs over the entire course of all the movies was Captain America's story. Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite story arcs.
Yeah.
Just because he was the man out of time, didn't know where he was supposed to be. He found purpose, and then when he finally felt like his purpose was done, he found a way back home. Yeah,
and Chris Evans took a character that could have just been really flat and add so much depth and character and nuance to him. And you want to talk about character development, look at Iron Man, you know what I mean, going from warmonger to, giving everything up, his family and risking everything. It's like, that's character development. And it took several movies, but still.
They putting monger at the end of like a name and then monger.
Ironmonger.
Ironmonger, Killmonger.
Yeah, for real.
It's like a while back there was like a popular meme where it's like they're in a business room or whatever, and it's up on the top story, and somebody like pitches a crappy idea and they throw them out the window or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They're just like, all right, this is your third monger, you gotta go.
But Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the best MCU films. Destroyed her first time she saw it. Like the first
Going
5
in,
minutes.
I had not really seen anything, and I didn't know that his mom dies in the first 5 minutes. And I was like, why would you do that to Angelina Jolie? And he's like, that's not Angelina Jolie. And I was like, what?
What?
Yeah.
So
much
wasn't.
heart
Oh, yeah, but
in
yeah,
that
okay.
movie.
I was like, I want to blow your mind right now. No, it wasn't. Yeah.
So yeah,
Maybe he watched
hats off.
the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and that's why Scorsese's saying this.
But hats off to Scorsese. Nothing but respect for the man and everything he's done, everything he's doing.
But don't you say that stuff again.
Taser face.
Sorry. You made Hugo, so you get spectacle.
Dun, dun, dun. Anything else about Scorsese?
That's it. I love you. Cast me in a movie.
But also don't say that stuff. We're kind of mad at you for talking crap about the MCU.
Not just because we're MCU fans, but it just doesn't add up.
It doesn't align with our beliefs.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this: I'm an MCU fan until DC gets their stuff together.
Yeah. I mean, see, that was another point I was going to make about, like, one reason why the DCEU didn't fly so well is because Marvel had raised the bar
So high.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it's
So then to say that that's not cinema.
yeah.
like-
I mean, granted, it's not necessarily a Dark Knight. It's not necessarily a Logan, or even Joker. Now, those three films have transcended. Like, those are elite. Like,
Yeah.
those are films. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not just movies. They're films. They're cinema. Like, you can't watch Logan and not tell me that movie is not a beautifully crafted movie. Crafted movie. It's a crappy. I mean,
It was one of, like, I mean, The Dark Knight did it too. Like, I mean, yeah, like, a lot of stuff was in danger, but the world doesn't have to be in danger for it to have a good story behind it. And, like, Logan's story was this big. Like, it was, like, in the scope of everything, it was a very small story that took place in a few places that just followed, really, him and his clone daughter.
but so much heart and emotion and
Yeah.
and human trauma.
But making that comparison, I can kind of understand why he's saying, like, hey, there are movies out there that just, like, will transcend time, they make a point, they have a purpose, like, they
Definitely.
guide people.
Definitely.
And that's cinema. But he didn't say it like that.
Yeah,
He
and
just was like, "That was not cinema."
It's not like he wasn't saying. He did say as well crafted as they are. He didn't say that they were crap. He just said that they're not cinema.
And I can kind of
know what I mean?
understand that in sort of a way that he's like, comparatively, they're not cinema. Like when
Yeah.
you're talking about movies that just like
I mean,
have
to
a
play
soul and a
devil's
purpose.
advocate,
Yeah.
there is a line that
Right.
that movies cross, like Vertigo, Citizen Kane, movies that
Gone with the Wind.
yeah, that are timeless, that
the
are
red
just
fern grows.
amazing works of art that will stand the test of time.
Right.
And I mean, there are a few comic book movies, like I said, Logan, The Dark Knight. I mean, even though the Dark Knight's awesome, but it is kind of dated, But still, anyways.
So, I mean,
yes.
I can kind of see what he was saying, but I feel like he also was wrong.
Ish, yeah. I mean, I see both sides, but I mean, in defense of the MCU, they have raised the bar quite a bit, and they've got a long way to go, but they've come so far. So, on to number 3.
Number 3.
So, I just want to say a couple things. I tried to take some notes. I have a stack of index cards. I did not realize that this was how much was coming out. The side of my pinky is black from how much writing I did this morning. So you could see me during their segments, like scribbling notes still. I'm going to try and get through as many of these as I can, but I understand that, like, there's a lot here. Some of them are brief, some of them are not. And I'm going to be talking really fast. So, guys, keep up. Here we go.
All right.
So essentially, everything that is coming out fall 2019,
Dago.
TV related.
I am sorry. I suggested that one. I am sorry.
And I'm thankful for it, but I should have just not written them down. I should have been like, picture of what's going on. But I wanted as much information as I could. So some of them have details, some of them do not. So I'm going to give you the name of the show, what it's airing on, and what day. And then I might give you actors and a brief description.
Wow.
Some of them might have them, some don't, because some of them have been on for a while, and so I was like, they know what that is.
Yeah. Straight from Lydia's brain to you.
Here we go. Here we go. Are you ready?
Are they alphabetical too?
No, they're lined up by date premiere.
Okay.
So today, this is my Leslie Nope of everything. If I had started this last night, I would have been done, and it would have been color coded, and I had a lot more things.
It would be thicker.
You're right.
Which is why I can't stop after I've fixed the problem last night. Same
So
reason.
today, airing on CW is The Flash. So you've got Grant Gustin, Candace Patton, Danielle Panabaker. This is the 6th season, so it's based on the DC Comics character Barry Allen. Almost said Ballin. Barry Allen. This one's gonna be 22 episodes, so look forward to that today.
Which is why I haven't caught up yet.
Yeah, 22 episodes. Rhythm and Flow, which is a new show. Cardi B, Chance the Rapper, and T.I. look for the next greatest rap star across the nation.
Cool.
Airs tonight on Netflix, which is interesting. Wait, is today the 8th or the 9th? No,
Today's
tomorrow.
the 8th.
That's tomorrow, my bad.
Tomorrow.
Okay, so the new Nancy Drew series on CW, October 19th. What am I talking about? Ooh, my coffee's kicking in. October 9th. Kennedy McMahon
Hold
plays
on.
Nancy. Sinead Curry is playing Tiffany. Tony Ali plays Jeff. So it's a young Nancy Drew, but she's like college age, and so she's wanting to move on, but the
That's
murder
actually a bit
mystery
older.
holds her to her town. So kind of neato. Riverdale season 4 coming out on the CW. So it's basically their high schoolers navigating romance, school, family, and Archie and his gang become entangled in the dark Riverdale mysteries.
That's one that I purposely skipped, and I keep hearing about how good it is.
So Allie texted me and was like, so we're going to this party
Her
for
best friend
Halloween,
since
the
childhood.
weekend before Halloween, and we're going as Riverdale characters. I was like, I don't watch Riverdale. I'm so sorry. So now, I'm not going to tell you what we're going as, but she watches Riverdale.
It's like everybody. Okay, so I haven't watched Riverdale either, but it's like everyone that doesn't watch the shows I watch Riverdale. That is how.
If you watched Gossip Girl, you watch Riverdale.
Okay. Well,
See, that's what I think. This is like
Yeah.
it's that crowd. It's the Twilight crowd.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
why I
That
purposely.
is my favorite sad movie to play when I'm depressed, so leave me alone.
Okay. Anyways, it's that age group. It's the YAs. You know.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, the 14-year-old girl group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is borderline emo murder mystery with Archie. Is like, come on.
Based off the Archie movie.
That I don't know. That's just the old man in me going.
Yeah, that literally is. I'm going to keep going. So Legacies is a spinoff of the Vampire Diaries series. So this is season 2, premiering October 10th on CW. Hope McKelson, I think they meant to put breed, but didn't. Tribrid? I don't know. Daughter of a vampire werewolf hybrid. Tribrid is what it said.
Tri-breed. Yeah.
Makes her way in the world. So she's half vampire, half werewolf. Which, again, Sookie Stackhouse, they did that in that book, so you're copying, whatever. Supernatural.
Charmaine Harris, shout out Arkansas author.
Yeah, from where I'm from. Not the same town, but like 2 minutes over.
2 minutes.
Sarepta,
Yeah.
where it at? Or
Yeah.
Shongaloo, Sarepta,
Our
basically the
stomping
same thing.
grounds.
Yep. She's from there, and Allie, my best friend, her uncle is her insurance agent.
One of my friends, his mom.
What?
Or not. I say one of my
I forgot what
friends.
his job was.
One of my classmates,
He's a
his mom
podcast
is like her
announcer,
best friend growing up.
I love her. You're a hero and everything. Oh, and I have an idea for a Dark Sookie series, so you should definitely call me up. Okay.
And she would know. She read would you say 8 times
Yeah,
at least?
all 14 books. I can read them in 14 days. I read a book a day when I come to that series because I love it so much. Thank
Yeah.
you.
When she says she's gonna start reading those again. I
Yeah,
know.
you ain't gonna see me.
Yeah,
eat
I just
pizza
find
for
something
dinner.
else to do.
Like, that's hard to do. Okay, but Supernatural is ending after 15 seasons.
Yeah.
If you don't know what this series is about, you've been living under a rock. But if you don't,
Scooby-Doo
it's
for adults.
2 brothers follow their dad's footsteps as hunters of basically everything evil. That's how I know it gets cold when ghosts come up, because of Supernatural. So a lot of people are really, really heartbroken about this series ending, but after 15 seasons.
Shay's super upset.
Another show that I never watched. I've never seen a single episode.
But it was like, I think I caught like season 4 episodes, and I was like, no, I got to go back from the beginning. And I was dating a guy who watched it, and then we broke up. I was like, I don't care. So that last and final season's coming
Another
out
one that
October
Maeve is
10th.
really into.
Yeah, she has like a latte cup that's Supernatural over it. She's never even used it. We don't even let her drink coffee. I was like, you can put
What?
soup in it.
She's already short, so.
Oh. Okay.
Stunts your growth.
Oh my god. Moving on, I have a fast act to get through here. Are You Afraid of the Dark? So this was a series that ran from
Ooh, yeah, I wanna
1990 to 2000. It's airing October 11th on Nickelodeon. It is a 3-part revival of the kids' Twilight Zone type-ish show. A group of kids go out into the woods and tell ghost stories. So I hope
show
that
does
it's
not
really
need to
good.
come back.
The new series is Rafael Casal and Maya Ketch, I think is her name. I'm so sorry
I don't know.
for butchering those. The Birch coming out October 11th. It's a Facebook watch.
Yeah, so if you don't know, like Facebook Watch has their own. Facebook has their own shows now.
Yep.
And I want to say,
I found that out when I wrote Facebook Watch over here in the right.
who is it? Is it Jennifer Garner, or is it?
Are you talking about Jessica Biel having her
Jessica
new show?
Biel.
I'm getting to that.
She's the one that kind of like made it a big deal.
Yeah.
Like she signed a big contract with them and is turning a story podcast into a show. Is that the one that's coming out?
No, I'm about to talk about it.
I'm sorry.
So
I
Facebook
just-
Watch has 2 big shows coming out. One is on October 11th. It's called The Birch, like I just said. A teenager seeks out the help of a monster who lives in the woods. It's based on a short film called The Birch. It's got Dempsey Brick, Zaria Dotson, and Tommy Hestmark.
You're okay there, Quinn? What? Was not expecting that.
Sorry.
I'm good. I was
Wow. Sorry,
I
folks.
was thinking, Are You Afraid of the Dark? I remember an episode that scarred me as a child.
Which one?
It was the episode this little kid, he was chasing after his dog, and they got hit by a car, and it kept ended up being like an endless time loop of that continuously happening, and he couldn't figure out how to break it. And I thought I was watching the episode for like a day. I was at my
Yeah, exactly. It's Twilight
my
Zone-ish
God.
like that.
Wow.
yeah.
I kind of like that though. Like
But
Twilight.
it's for kids.
Watching Twilight Zone and stuff like that growing up on like a strict sci-fi diet of like Star Trek and Twilight Zone and horror movies growing up, like that formed my mind.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No wonder. No, I'm just kidding.
So like you're trying to talk about something normal, I'm sitting here in my head, I'm just going, but if this happened.
You live in the Twilight Zone. So something that I didn't know was their thing. I didn't know that Charmed had rebooted.
Oh yeah.
So this is season 2, airing October 11th on the CW. I don't know why y'all are rolling y'all's eyes because I loved Charmed. Okay, every day at 3 o'clock you get home from school and Charmed is playing.
Okay, if you love Charm, don't watch that.
When I saw that it wasn't the same names, I was like, oh, I'm done. Gone.
Yeah, it's a actual.
So Melanie Diaz plays Mel, Madeline Mantock plays Macy, Sardana Jeffrey plays Maggie.
we lived such different lives at that age.
Well, you're 15 years older than me.
I said at that age. You didn't have to point that out. I was like, when I got home at 3 o'clock, you know what I was watching? One of two things. The Disney DuckTales Rescue Rangers hour,
Boy, howdy.
or Billy Madison.
Those were good ones that
Yeah.
I'm aware of.
I'm just saying, like, I went home and watched cartoons. I wasn't trying to watch some teenage drama.
My stepmother watched this show, so that's why it was on whenever I got home from school because it was just now going off.
I
So
see
why don't you watch
Angela.
yourself?
I see you, Angela.
She loves soaps, okay? And Charmed was basically a soap
By one.
about
Point.
witches.
I would
My
come
point.
home and
My
I would
point.
watch Dragon Ball Z would come on first. Then it would be Yu Yu Hakusho. Then sometimes Rurouni Kenshin. And really just a lot of anime until about 6. So, yeah, that was my life.
See, I played sports, so when I got home, I was eating a Hot Pocket or a chocolate Pop-Tart and going to softball practice.
I had activities every day but one day of the week.
Dynasty. Moving on. Again, another one on the CW. October 11th, Elizabeth Gillies, Rafael de la Fuente,
Nobody cares who they are.
but they care. I'm glad that you watched the end credits on movies that you're in to pick out your name. They're doing the same thing.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
That was rude.
Robert Christopher Riley. This is going to be season 3 on Dynasty, so it follows 2 of America's wealthiest families as they feud for control over their fortune and their children. Da, da, da. Insatiable. So,
The sound effects.
but you keep ruining my
Are we going
intro.
through all these?
Yeah, I literally am. That's why you keep interrupting. It's going to take longer.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
I'll be
we're losing.
quiet.
Some
This
of
is-
them are good, though, but I'm
Okay.
not going to skip any.
We need to. Sorry.
Insatiable, October 11th on Netflix. Season 2, a bully teenager turns to beauty pageants as a way to exact her revenge.
Carrie?
You the one making it take long.
Sorry.
Letter
I'm trying to make
Kenny.
it entertaining instead of just list reading.
Some of them are and some of them aren't. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Letter Kenny is coming back on Hulu October 14th.
I heard that's a good one.
Yeah, I really want to watch it. It's a small town Canada comedy.
I thought it was a cartoon the way everybody was talking about
I thought it was kind of like Big Mouth or something like
it.
that, but it's
or
not.
South Park.
Yeah, I thought it was too. But it's basically that, just not animated. Arrow's coming back for season 8.
Final season.
Final.
Yep.
On the CW, October 15th. The Purge, which oddly enough is on USA. Like, can we point out the irony of that? Season 2, October 15th. Treadstone. Very interested in this one. So this is a USA original, air quote. They say that because it's not, because it's a spin-off of the Bourne movies.
Yeah, I've seen teasers for it recently.
Yeah,
I
so
was
it's
like,
October 15th. So the Treadstone, what's it called?
Program.
Thank you, is the one that trains the assassins or whatever, and so they're doing a series about that.
Jeremy Renner's going to show up somewhere now.
Maybe.
Basically, it's Gabrielle, and I don't know her last name because it was really long, so I wrote S. Jeremy Irvine and Hayo Juhan. There's Impulse coming out on YouTube
Thought that said
on
Impala.
October 16th. What?
I thought that said Impala.
Balla. Impala. Maddie Hasten, Sarah D, and Unica Okuma. Sorry. Season 2. A young woman discovers she done discovered she has extraordinary powers of teleportation.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this is season 2 on YouTube.
What show is that in?
Impulse, if you had been
Impulse.
listening.
I'm sorry. They were all running together.
So this is the other
45 minutes of
Facebook
sleep.
Watch one. This is the other Facebook Watch one. It's called Limetown.
That's the one I
Jessica
was
Biel and Stanley Tucci. October 16th, it's going to air. It follows Leah Haddock, who's Jessica Biel, a journalist for American Public Radio, as she unravels the mystery behind the disappearance of over 300 people at a neuroscience research facility in Tennessee.
Facility.
In Tennessee. Living with Yourself is the new Paul Rudd movie, which is basically Family Man. It airs October 18th on Netflix. A man undergoes an experimental treatment to improve his life, only to be replaced by a new and improved version of himself, and must fight for his wife, his career, and his very identity.
Just like
My
I was
face is
just
got
trying to
cut
see
off.
if my head was going to be in two places at once.
Looking for Alaska, October 18th on Hulu. A new arrival at a boarding school falls in love with a beguiling female student and becomes obsessed with her. Modern
Reverse
Love.
Twilight.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for about a state. I don't know. Alaska. Is her
Up in
name.
that northeastern, western region.
It's not in Alaska. Her name is Alaska.
Oh.
That's why I was
It's
making
like,
a
yeah,
joke.
you can see Alaska from Seattle.
Modern Love. Tina Fey, Dev Patel, and Anne Hathaway. It's basically Modern Family, but about love instead of life. It's on Amazon Prime, October
Is it
18th.
a show or a movie?
Amazon Prime, October 18th.
They do movies?
What is Modern Family? Is it a show?
It's a show.
It's basically Modern
But they
Family
did
about
do-
love.
Okay.
Oh, I'll watch
It
it.
could have been a mirror
It's got
band.
Tina Fey in it. Of course I'm going to watch it.
Yep, hugest crush.
This one I'm very excited about because I think it's going to be really interesting. So this is based on a true story. It's called Leavenworth. Stars October 20th is when it's coming out. It centers on the true story of Clint Lawrence, a first lieutenant in the U.S. Army who is serving a 19-year sentence and is appealing his sentence for killing 3 civilians in Afghanistan. Afghanistan during war. And so he is serving a 19-year prison sentence and is appealing that. And so it's going to be basically that, but it's on Stars. So I'm interested to see that.
Story?
Yeah, I just said it's based on a true story.
Well, I was just double checking.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, he's not very old either. Like I think he's like 25, and so he was over there for his first tour, kills 3 civilians, and gets sentenced to 19 years in prison, and he's serving that sentence right now and appealing it. So this is the one y'all are really excited about. Watchmen, October 20th, HBO. Set in an alternate history where mass vigilantes are treated as outlaws. Watchmen embraces the nostalgia of the original groundbreaking graphic novel, also called Watchmen, while attempting to break new ground on its own.
Yeah, so it is basically, even though Alan Moore, the original writer of the Watchmen graphic novel, has nothing to do with anything spinning off of his original work. It doesn't endorse anything, like hates it, badmouths it.
Of course.
Even like Damon Lindelof was like, okay, well I see you, so F you. Even though because he's trying to like meet him where he's at, right?
Yeah.
Not to be rude, but so this it's like a spiritual sequel. I say spiritual sequel, but it seems to be like a literal sequel. You know, I mean, it seems to have all the same characters, well, the ones that are still there around.
Yeah.
And seems like everything that happened in the book has happened in the show.
Right, they're not rewriting what has come before it.
Right. So if you saw the movie, you're gonna miss some pretty significant things in the show.
Yep.
But the show was also written, season 1, to be like a compartmentalized story. Like that could be it if that's all there is.
Right.
So.
Yep.
So it's
Super
definitely going to be a
excited.
must watch.
Yes.
It's going to be a don't miss.
And it's very political. It's very
Watchmen
has a
always
lot
is,
to
though.
say about what's going on nowadays, and even I mean that's like I said, that is one of the ways that comics succeed and are transcendent. When they're doing well, it's because they're making a statement about what's going on in the world. The same reason why everybody loves Spider-Man, everybody loved Fantastic Four, everybody loved Black Panther, all these characters that Stan Lee created, you know, is because they had something to say about what was happening in the world then.
Was I? Yes, I was. Doomsday Clock is about the final one supposed to come out this month, I believe.
Which is
The
another
comic.
DC spinoff.
Yep. Which,
Because I'm not happy with this, like DC merging worlds with
okay.
Watchmen.
at the end of number 11, Dr. Manhattan counted down. Like, he's supposed to be 5 seconds until Superman notices I'm here. And then, all right, he sees me. It's time for the end to start.
So wait, is Watchmen a DC comic
They're a part of DC now, yeah.
They're owned by DC.
Yeah.
now, or what were they before?
Originally, wasn't it Vertigo, maybe?
I think it was Vertigo, Dark Horse. It was the Vertigo. Yeah, because they bought Vertigo.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, they kept Vertigo as a brand, and they kind of put their dark stuff over there because originally, like Vertigo was dark.
Mm-hmm. Still is. Yeah. I mean, just
DC can get dark too.
yeah. Just Vertigo's like, no, we're just gonna kill 1,000 babies,
Yeah.
type of thing.
Whew.
Yeah.
Talking about that, Catherine the Great is the story of the greatest Tsarina. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. It's like a czar, but it's the girl, so a
I got you.
Tsarina. And the Hermitage. And so it's got Helen Mirren, which obviously you should watch it because it's Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
October 21st, HBO. So that's a new series she's got. The Misery Index. So it's a game show airing on TBS October 22nd. But get this. The Impractical Jokers are on this show
Really?
as like co-host kind of contestant things.
If you haven't
it's
seen
gonna
that
be
show,
very
go
exciting.
watch that dang show.
It is so stinking funny, and yeah, Love it. Love it. Great show. So Jamil will be the host. So she's like the official host for that. Jamila, maybe? I'm saying that wrong. I'm not sure. So there's, this one's kind of interesting. October 23rd, Netflix. It's called Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner. It's a series, but it's like 3 movies. And so it's like a 3-movie series type thing, but it's technically a series. So they're not feature length, but they're not short films.
Okay.
So they're like kind of long, I guess. So they're calling them movies. But it's like a docu-type.
Like a miniseries?
Sort of, but it's almost like a docu-series, but not really.
Okay.
It's like Parks and Rec meets Asia kind of thing.
Meets Asia?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's set in Euro-Asia, and so they're like following these 3 main characters with love and everything going on in their life. I don't know. It was really hard to explain. I guess I could read the thing if y'all want. I looked it up. Y'all are acting like
you know
you're
what
not
I
very
liked?
interested.
That movie. No, I was about to say something stupid. So you know how when you're young, you have like what you think are clever ideas, but then you find out it's just the stupidest idea. I was like, man, I really want to start like a mission to Asia, like youth in Asia.
Oh my gosh. Shut up. So the cool thing about this one is that each film is directed by a different Asian director. That this will be their debut. So this will be, and they're all women. They're all of Asian descent, and they're all like kind of talking about things that involve their lives. And so, pretty neat little thing that they got going on. So I think it's gonna be something to watch, if not just to start hearing their names, because they're gonna stick around. Castle Rock coming back for season 2. It's based on the Stephen King stories in the fictional town of Castle Rock on Hulu, October 23rd.
So Castle Rock is basically a Misery prequel.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Kathy Bates' character, this is like her comeuppance.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
I love Kathy Bates.
Or comeuppance, but it's basically doing the same thing they did with what the hotel,
Bates.
the Bates Hotel. It's
Bates
like the
Motel.
Bates Motel. Sorry.
It's the Beats Motel.
Bates.
Pam.
So anyway, it's basically the same type of show where it's a prequel and shows how they got there.
So this one, I think is really funny. It's called The Cry. New. It's going to be on Sundance, October 23rd.
I've seen a lot of promos for this.
It's basically a dingo ate my baby, but drama. It's the disappearance of a baby from a small coastal town in Australia is the catalyst for a journey into the disintegrating psychology of a young couple as they deal with an unthinkable tragedy under both the white light of public scrutiny and behind closed doors.
Wow. What was it we were watching? And they were like, that's not funny. That really happened. Oh, that might have been the Guardians movie. It's like, Dango ate my baby.
Oh my gosh.
That's not funny. That really happened.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Daybreak is a new one with Matthew Broderick. It's going to be on Netflix, October 24th. High school outcast Josh is searching for his missing girlfriend in post-apocalyptic Glendale. He's joined by a group of misfits, Angelica and his former bully Wesley. On the way, they'll face many weird things. So Austin Crute and Colin Ford are also in that.
Yeah, and if you didn't see Matthew Broderick in the cold open for SNL this past week,
Really
go
funny.
watch that. That's
Really funny.
hilarious.
Classic Matthew Broderick. So, coming out for 6th season on Netflix, BoJack Horseman, October 25th. So if you don't know anything about this one, it actually looks kind of funny after I read the synopsis.
It is funny.
But what's weird about this is half the season is airing October 25th on Netflix, but they're holding the last couple episodes until January 2020. So I'm not sure if like maybe one of the voice actors or something has got something going on that they don't want to recast, especially since it's last season.
Interesting.
Not.
Rick and Morty are doing the same thing.
Huh.
It's premiering next month, but only 5 episodes for this season.
So they're kind of doing like The Walking Dead, where they like have a
Mid-season
mid-season break kind of thing. But that's uncommon for Netflix because normally they just release it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix is kind of experimenting with a week to week with some shows.
Yeah.
And Disney Plus is going to be week to week. They're not going to drop it all at once.
Yeah. Don't like that.
Except it like shows like ours where we like to speculate and stuff. I think it's going to be good for water cooler talk.
Yeah.
True. I'm not even through October yet. So the Kaminsky Method, Netflix, October 25th. I'm really excited about this one I'm about to say. Miss Fletcher. It's Catherine Hahn, HBO, October 27th.
Catherine Hahn.
She is a single mother. Her son moves out for college, and she overlooks and sees a text message where someone was calling her a MILF. So she starts exploring her sexuality and different things like that as a single home alone mother.
Oh my goodness.
And if you didn't see Catherine Hahn in Step Brothers, this is basically what it is, and I'm so here for it.
It's like the
She's
parallel
Alice.
story.
Yeah. She's basically playing Alice, but her kids are grown.
Oh my
And she divorced Derek.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be really funny. So Silicon Valley is ending. So 6th season premieres October
Wow.
27th
I didn't
on
know
HBO.
that show was still on, to be
I didn't
honest with
either.
you.
I hadn't heard about it in a long time. So lots of speculation about if they're, I forgot what it was, but people are speculating about how it's going to end. So you might want to watch that one. Okay. Baroness von Sketch Show. It's an SNL type-ish kind of sketch show. Season 3 premieres October 30th on IFC, which is, what's that one? International.
I forget.
I went to look it up and I ran out of time.
It's an independent film channel.
Oh, okay.
It's an independent film channel. I don't know what they're called.
I don't know what it stands for, but
So
it's not cinema.
if you thought things were interesting before, which you probably didn't, they're about to get real heated in here. Apple TV, November 1st. They're dropping everything. November
Wow.
1st.
I wonder if they're going to do a week to week or if they're going to drop it all.
I'm not sure.
We'll
really
soon
not sure.
find out.
Yeah. So Apple TV Plus is November 1st dropping Dickinson, which stars Haley Steinfeld as Emily Dickinson in the life and world of Emily Dickinson. So,
Okay.
yeah. Do y'all remember Emily Dickinson?
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah.
Haley Steinfeld. Weird.
Yeah,
Weird.
who's a great actress.
She is.
But
But that's super young. Like, I'm wondering what age they're going to cast her.
I don't. Well, obviously her age, I would hope. But but I'm not gonna watch it for the simple fact that it came on for like a month straight before every YouTube video I watched. It was like Wild Nights.
Oh, the trailer
Oh
for it or whatever.
Yeah. It's like stop.
So another Apple TV Plus, November 1st, is For All Mankind. Chris Bauer from The Office is going to be on it.
wanna
It
see
is
this one.
basically about if the race to the moon had never...
Well, if the Russians won the race to the moon.
No, it's actually if it never ended. Like if
we're
nobody
still
ever
trying to
got to
get
the
to the
moon.
Oh,
moon?
really?
Yeah. I read
okay.
one review that said it's if the Russians got to the moon first, but it's not.
Huh.
It's set in the world that they're still racing. It's mid-race. No one has gotten to the moon.
And what year is it? Like our year?
69.
So it's still still going on. Okay.
69.
Yeah. It's like it's supposed to be set kind of close to that time, but in a future, obviously dystopian type kind of situation because it's not. It's if it hadn't
So,
have happened, so
yeah.
it's not our world, but
So-
it's meant to be placed in our
Yeah,
world.
a lot of suspense and drama is created because of like this Cold War scenario.
Yeah. Okay.
So Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, John Krasinski, Amazon Prime is also coming out November 1st.
Did you watch that one?
Yes, I do. I'm ready for the next season.
I can't help but see Jim.
I can't wait. I haven't got to start it yet, but I'm
I
very
love the
excited.
headcanon that A Quiet Place is a sequel to The Office and The Apocalypse.
Ah!
But it's not because I'm sorry, Emily Blunt, you might be married to him in real life, but you are not Pam.
Pam has died,
Shut up.
and she's his second wife, and the first child is him and Pam's daughter.
I don't like this at all. PP helper. Like, that's all I can think. Like, that's what I was going to say. Because do I introduce her that way? Okay. So, again, November 1st, Apple TV Plus, Oprah's Book Club, which is basically Joan Calamezzo's book club, just Oprah instead.
Oprah's had a book club like since forever though.
I know Joan Calamezzo. Anyway, it's fine. It's okay that you don't get it.
Okay.
Joan gotcha.
Oh.
She's from Parks and Rec.
Okay.
So
Yeah. You get it by seal of approval.
yes. Thank you. So not necessarily a new series, but Queer Eye, We're in Japan.
I'm sorry. That title. We're in Japan. That's all right.
So Netflix, November 1st, Queer Eye's going to Japan, and that's basically it. But they're acting like it's a new series, which is confusing enough.
It's some of the guys are new. It's not all the same guys.
Yeah,
from
some of the
original.
cast is new, so they're like meeting up with Japan's
Most
queer
eligible bachelors? Oh.
queer bachelors. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, usually Queer Eye for the straight guy is like,
For
you know,
the
I don't know if
straight
it's I don't know if it's Queer Eye for the straight guy or if it's Queer Eye like another take on it. But originally it was like a bunch of gay guys dressing a straight dude,
Making him
trying to
look
tell
nice.
him how to how to dress, right?
But okay.
Okay.
So this next one is Jason Momoa, Alfie Woodard, and C. November 1st, Apple TV Plus.
As much as I love both of those actors, this looks horrible.
I haven't seen the trailer for it yet, so I'm gonna watch. But it says, far in in a dystopian future, the human race has lost the sense of sight, and society has had to find a new way to interact, build, hunt, and survive. All of that is challenged when a set of twins is born with sight.
Yeah.
How do
I
y'all
think-
know they born and can see? Get out of here.
Yeah, and they're babies, right?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of right. I was definitely gonna watch it, but now I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah,
How
so
they know they
this
can see.
this rival village or whatever is led by like the shaman or whatever, and they believe that mankind lost their sight because of their evil, right? And sight is what led them to the evil that destroyed the world. And then they lost their sight, and so causality, they put it together and they think that's why, right? So Jason Momoa and his tribe are trying to protect their children and the future sight, this could change the world and all that kind of stuff. Except, like, how... I mean, granted, I did see Book of Eli, which was kind of pushing it a little bit. As far as, like, you go back and it's like, wait, what? How did
Yeah,
he
the whole
shoot?
time you're like, wait, he's blind.
Yeah. So...
Spoiler.
It's like, yeah, I mean, like they're wearing jewelry. It's like, what use does a blind person have with
For jewelry.
And why would you wear it? Because nobody can see it.
who built
y'all
built
just
the rope bridge that they crossed?
Homemade. Y'all
After
just
the
need-
5 people that fell off the cliff, they're like, oh, we got to put something here.
Like I'm not
Where'd they
trying
go?
to be insensitive to blind people, but this show is like Jason Momoa walking around like,
The
This
blind
the whole time.
leading the blind, and y'all still don't know these babies can see.
yeah.
So
Maybe they're grown up and we're like, wait, y'all can't see this?
No, they're babies.
All right.
They're babies.
So Back to Life is a Showtime, November 3rd. After 18 years behind bars, Mary Mattinson returns home and stumbles back into adult life in a claustrophobic coastal town she once knew in a half-hour comedy series after she's been released from prison. She's been in prison for 18 years, and so she's adapting back to life.
Back to life.
Exactly. She's adapting back to life. His Dark Materials, which will be on HBO, is
Let's see
based
that
on
one.
The
That
Golden
looks good.
Compass, which was a book. Then it turned into. Then it was a
What's
movie.
I think it's the second book in the series.
It
His
was
Dark-
a book.
Sorry. Well, you first said the Golden.
They're both
Compass.
books. The Golden Compass
Oh,
and
is-
His Dark Materials are both books. His
Right.
Dark Materials is the second book, but it's
Is the Golden
crossing
Compass like
over
the
into the Golden Compass.
Okay, is the Golden Compass like what the series is called too?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It's been a long time. I read them when I was in like middle school or something. November 3rd. So it's a reboot, total reboot. They're not related to the movie at all
She hadn't
because
seen that
apparently
movie.
the movie sucked, and so they're like, "No, we ain't doing this."
Plus, there was a lot of backlash because apparently it's supposed to be like the atheist answer to Lord of the Rings type thing, and a lot of people think
What?
that it's
I never heard that.
Yeah,
Reading.
I know when Golden Compass came out, that was what I heard, and I was like, really.
I hate when people try and make that stuff into that. It's like, you got middle schoolers reading this. Okay, we don't know what undertones even are.
Well, that's the thing. Is like they're trying to inundate kids with atheist ideas.
Stupid.
Yeah. Same. I mean, I also heard that Harry Potter was trying to teach kids witchcraft. So
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch Fairly Odd Parents for a little
It
while.
didn't work.
Yeah, it really didn't. If anything,
taught us
witches
Latin.
Instagram teaches us more. Yeah, it just taught us that kids who almost die are like treated special. Okay, so I didn't even know this was still a thing, but apparently it's moving from NBC to Nat Geo. Running Wild with Bear Grylls, November 5th. What the heck? Dublin Murders is going to be a new show on Starz November 10th.
Wait, can you throw these like?
Yes,
Dave-
absolutely.
Dave used to?
Shameless, November 10th on Showtime. Encore, Kristen Bell, Disney Plus, November 12th, which is kind of exciting. Kristen Bell is going to rural theaters and like high school theaters and performances that they've done, but they're doing an encore for it that's getting filmed. Really neat opportunity. This one is just a what the heck. High School Musical, the series.
Oh my gosh, you've got all the new Disney Plus shows in there?
Yep.
Okay,
November
there's
12th.
there's
The
about 20, so
Mandalorian,
hold on.
Pedro Pascal, Kyle Pasick, Brendan Wayne, Disney Plus, November 12th. The Mandalorian. Anything?
Yes.
Anything?
Can't wait.
He's still shook about High School Musical, the series.
Yeah. If you didn't catch that the first time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the literal
thing.
name of it. Yeah.
Like that, it's a thing.
Come on, man. Get your head in the game.
Go away.
No. Done. This one will be my livelihood. Disney Plus, The World According to Jeff Goldblum. It comes out a little after my birthday, so I'm a little upset that Jeff Goldblum didn't make it come out on my birthday, but that's okay. The Preppy Murder, Death in Central Park. So this is based on a real occurrence, 1986 murder of Jennifer Levin in Central Park, and the mystery that surrounds that. It's going to be at Sundance AMC, November 13th. So it's called The Preppy Murder. She went to a prep school. So she's a prep school student killed in Central Park.
When I looked at it, I thought it said Central Pink. All I could see
I
is
can't even
Molly
read my own
Ringwald.
writing. Yeah. Dollface, a new Kat Dennings series, reconnecting with friends lost or in a relationship. Hulu, November 15th. The Man in the High Castle, Amazon Prime, November 15th.
It's supposed to be a good show.
Yeah, final season.
Yeah.
The Crown, November 17th on Netflix. Ray Donovan, and I've got a little thing about this one.
I love this show. I want to say I got 3 seasons in, and then I stopped getting Showtime, so I got behind and I never caught up. But it was a great show.
I lost it. Could you tell him what it's about? It's on Showtime. November
Yeah, so
17th.
he's a fixer, and he's like one of those guys that like if you get in trouble, you call him and he'll come break the dude's ankles or knees or whatever, and fix your situation. And if you didn't see the cold open on SNL from 2 weeks ago, go watch that. Donald Trump called Ray Donovan.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, no, this is Liev Schreiber. I play Ray Donovan. I'm not really a fixer. You can do this for me, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Anyways.
So Mad About You was supposed to be on NBC, but is actually going to be on Spectrum, November 20th.
What is Spectrum?
Never heard of it. I tried to look it up. And I didn't find
Yikes.
anything.
Not looking good, Paul Reiser. Helen Hunt.
Yeah, like, I love you, Helen Hunt. Paul Reiser, you're a great actor.
We're mad about you, in fact.
Oh my gosh, shut up. Slow Burn, Epics, November 24th. A docuseries inspired by the Slate podcast of the called Slow Burn that offers a deep dive into the Watergate scandal.
Man, deep dives, slow burns.
Brain Games. Keegan-Michael Key is set to host this on Nat Geo, a revival of the popular game show featuring celebrity guests, December 1st.
That could be fun.
Could be, but it's not.
Keegan-Michael Key. Hey, Ghosty. Keegan-Michael Key is one of those guys you kind of got, like, you got to take him in doses. It's like,
Hey, Ron.
yeah, when he's playing a character, he's great. But when he's himself, sometimes
I loved him in Parks and Rec.
He was great in Parks and Rec. I don't know. I don't know. sometimes he can be a bit much.
Yes, amen. Like, what was the cat movie? Where he's going and looking for, he's looking for his cat.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I didn't
heard it
either.
was
The trailer
really
was
good.
enough. I'm not going to watch it. It's Keegan-Michael Key doing crap like that gets him like, kind of recognition.
Yeah.
It's
What
like,
was
some days I love you, some days you weird.
He used to host the on Animal Planet, the Animals Funniest. Like it was like America's Funniest Home Videos for pets. Yeah. And he was pretty funny on that. He did.
Well,
pretty good.
he's a good host.
Yeah, I
think
mean,
it'll be
obviously he's a
good.
funny guy. He's half of Key and Peele.
Yeah, and what's his deal with Nat Geo? Like, he's always on Nat Geo, I feel
I
like.
think he really
got
likes
friends.
animals.
Amen.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
I
got to
can
do
support
something.
that.
I mean, Peele's off doing something else.
He's off making
Peele's
horror movies.
Peel.
For a long time, I thought that was Key and Peele, but it's not. It's
like
Key
sticking your key into an orange.
Peele.
Use your key to
Two
peel
different
it.
last names. One Day at Disney is going to be a new series, obviously on Disney Plus, December 3rd. So it's about the people behind Disney and not Walt Disney, but the actual people behind Walt.
Like that
Disney.
work there?
Yeah.
Like currently?
I think it's going to cover some old, some current.
Okay. I was wondering, like, some of these things you're seeing on social media pop up where it's like, oh, the Wicked Witch, the actress that plays the Wicked Witch at the park is so amazing. And then you see, like, next week it's another person. I was wondering if that was kind of like a campaign to start building for that show.
Well, this is people behind the Disney movie, not the park.
I see.
This is Disney Entertainment.
Although I would watch the other show.
So, like,
too.
you're talking about, like, your graphics, your animators,
Right,
that
got
kind of
you.
stuff.
Okay, yeah,
like
yeah,
the
cool. Oh,
behind the curtain.
Maeve's new favorite show.
Yes, exactly. It's every extended version or drawers. What is it? Illustrator's cut of any Disney movie?
Yeah.
Toast of London, another one on IFC, December 4th. Tell Me a Story, which is on CBS All Access. So it's not airing on CBS. It's going to be on CBS's All Access, December 5th. The Marvelous Miss Maisel, Amazon Prime, December 6th, coming back. And I don't know how y'all say it. I say reprisal. They're reprising their role, reprisal. But the way that they did the...
Reprisal, some people.
It's on Hulu, December 6th. They're, again, doing a spin-off series. The L Word Generation is going to be on Showtime, December 8th.
Is this
Yep.
the one that's the reality show?
No, The L Word was a show
Yeah.
that they're doing a spin-off Generation, but it's still not.
Because they did
reality.
like a reality show that
was
was
the L
based
Word?
off the real show or the TV show or something. I don't know. Anyways.
Work in Progress, Showtime, December 8th. The Expanse, Amazon Prime, December 13th.
I can't believe that show is still around. Like, they campaigned hard to keep that show.
Marvel's Runway. Ooh, I'm
Runaways?
gonna. Yep.
Yeah. And that-
Hulu, December 13th.
yeah, and that's another thing. Like. That we didn't really get into is Marvel Studios and Marvel TV kind of Marvel Studios crushing Marvel TV and Marvel TV not being a thing anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is the last season for a lot of stuff. Because they're going to reboot it.
Yep.
2019, the year that your dreams died.
To be reinvented as nightmares.
Yep. So basically,
Starring
Frankenstein's monster.
Jordan Peele,
Yeah, essentially.
hosted by Jordan Peele.
Thank goodness that's over. I was trying to make it
Right.
quick, but it wasn't. Sorry, guys.
It's cool, I think. I don't know.
We made it. Thank you for
Oh.
sticking around. Is there anything else you
Whole
want to add to that?
Outro. No, we have a whole outro to do.
Yeah. So thanks once again. Thanks for joining us. We hope you'll join us live on YouTube next Tuesday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And also don't forget, coming up at noon, The Broken Dead, where we're going to discuss the past episode, obviously the past episode, but also the first episode of Season 10. Stick around, come back, whatever you got to do. Take a little potty break if you need to. I know
We'll
I will.
see you soon.
Yes. So also don't forget to please like and subscribe. Hit the little bell icon.
Ding.
Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. And that if you hit the bell icon, it'll let you know when we drop a new video, as well as when we're going live and all that fun stuff. Podcast listeners, please leave 5 stars in your podcast app. And don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.picturesno.com. This is Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
This is Quin.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.